Hi, this is Kim Turner, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the VLOOKUP function and how to use it for an approximate match. So as you know, VLOOKUPs use tables and bring back information from those tables into the cell. So I have my spreadsheet up and I want to go to M5 and bring back the engagement level from a table by looking up the engagement rate in that table. So let's go over to the table and take a look at it. So here it is, and you can see that the entries under engagement rate are 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. But in fact, the actual engagement rates in the table are between 0 and 0.5 or 0.5. They could be between 0.5 and 1. They could be also between the other values as well. So that's why we want to use a VLOOKUP approximate match, because the engagement rate, or what you're looking up, is not going to be the exact values that you have in your table. It could be somewhere in between. So here's how it works. Let's say you're looking up the engagement rate of 0.29%. So I'm going to enter 0.29% here just so you can see what we're looking up. And we're going to go vertically down the column starting at the top, and when we hit a value that is too much or higher than the value we're looking up, we're going to bump it back to the previous cell and bring back whatever's in the second column. So take 0.29% for example. I'm going to take 0.29, and when I hit 0.5, which is higher, I'm going to bump back 1 and bring back poor into the cell. That's what the VLOOKUP does for approximate match. And so when you create your tables, you want to enter the lowest number in the range for each level. So everything from 0 to 0.499999 is poor, and 0 is the lowest number in that range. So let's go create our VLOOKUP. I'm going to go back over to the spreadsheet, and we'll click on the f of x. I see VLOOKUP is at the top because I previously used it, and then I can click OK. The first thing we want to enter is the lookup value. The lookup value is what do you want to look up? And I want to look up the engagement rate, so I'll click in L5 to bring it into the formula. The next thing we want is the table array. The table array is where do you want to look it up? Now I'm going to go over to the lookup tables, and I'm going to select the table, the entire table. You'll notice when I select the table that the defined name of rate underscore lookup goes into the table array. This defined name has been previously created. If it hadn't been created, then you would need to put absolute cell references for your range. So you could put absolute cell reference B4 to absolute cell reference C9. The third thing is column index number, and that means what column do you want to bring back into the cell? Well, in this case, I want whatever is in the second column to come back. So all you need to put in that cell is 2. And then the last thing is the range lookup. Now remember, the range lookup is where you indicate whether it's an exact match or an approximate match. So in this case, it's an approximate match. And in reading the range lookup to put either true or false, it's either true or omitted, which means you don't put anything there. So I'll go ahead and leave it omitted because it's an approximate match. Now, since this is in a table, then the formula is automatically auto-filled down the column. So it's important to spot check and make sure that the VLOOKUP formula is working for you and working correctly. I'm going to check this average engagement level. So 0.66%, go to the lookup table, and 0.66 would be in average because it's below 1. So bump it back 1 and bring back the level that's in the second column. And yes, average is the correct value to bring back. Alright, so that concludes the review of VLOOKUP that's an approximate match. Remember, in approximate match, the exact values are not going to be in the table. And in fact, you're looking up a value within a range of numbers to bring back another value from that table.